Hello guys, Teresa here again, T-Mac for short. Wow, what a game that was, right? The semi-final against Senegal, 68-75. Nigeria found their way in the same situation that they did against Mozambique, and this time we still came out with the win, beating Senegal even, after that scary situation in the third quarter. But then Nigeria found their way back. Let's quickly look at the stats. The field goal percentage, 40% for Senegal and 35% for Nigeria, lower than what we usually get, which is about 50%. And then on the 2 points, they have 51.6% and Nigeria has 41.9%. And on the 3 points, Senegal has 23.8% and Nigeria has 26.1%. On the free throw, Senegal has 65 and Nigeria has 77.5%. You can see how neck and neck the stats are in this game. On the rebounds, Senegal had 33 and Nigeria had 37. Look at that. On the offensive rebounds, 11 for Senegal and 13 for Nigeria. 22 on the defensive rebound and 24 for Nigeria. Assists, they have 11 and Nigeria has 14. Everything is so close on the stats sheet. And on the steals, they have 11 and Nigeria has 15. Once again, close. On the blocks, they have 0 blocks and Nigeria has 5. Turnovers, 23 for Senegal and 17 for Nigeria. Now let's look at the advanced stats here, which is revealing like how tooth and nail this game was from start to finish. Points of turnovers, they made 21 and Nigeria made 20. On the fast break points, Senegal had 18 and Nigeria has 23, thanks to Ezine with those steals and fast breaks. And on the second chance points, Senegal has 8 and Nigeria has 11. Points in the paints, Senegal has 28 and Nigeria has 24. The ball was not dished inside to Murijana Musa for the first half of that game. She was posting up, doing everything she needed to do, but the ball was just not getting to her. Can be two different things, either because the defense is really tough up top for the guards and they couldn't get the ball inside to her, or it was just, I don't know, something else, maybe a different play that they were trying to get to play and they didn't want the ball. I don't know, but the ball was just not going inside for MJ. But then thankfully we started to make some points from the second chance points and the guards that were driving and beginning to get some points up from outside. Points from the bench, Senegal has 14 and Nigeria has 21. Once again, versatility of the Nigerian bench, showing that we have so many people that we can depend on, coming off the bench, not just the first 5. Now let's quickly check on Nigeria's offense. But first of all, this is the 7th time that Nigeria is beating Senegal in a row to qualify for the finals. Incredible job by the Nigerian girls keeping that winning streak. To begin the game, Nigeria were a bit jittery on the offense and they were slow on the offense in reacting to the pace of the game that Senegal brought in. Macaulay's length, once again, proving why having, great length, great reach and height is important in the game of basketball, is a huge factor. We played and we score whenever we want to, but it was reduced a little bit in this game. We only scored 9 points in the third quarter and we gave up 21 points, which is unlike us. That was a significant point in the game, especially for Senegal, because, it gave them that confidence that they needed throughout the game, not until the fourth quarter. We handled business and we dropped 23 points to their 10 points in the fourth quarter, which was what we needed to come back from the way we played in the third quarter. Now on our offense, we looked a bit confused from the beginning of the game. We're beginning to get some help defense, and when that timeout happened in the first quarter and Macaulay came in, the game changed a little bit. The momentum changed a little bit for Nigeria because, of course, the reach and her defense and her experience and all of that she brought into the game. We closed up every middle drive as we always do, and we limited them to not scoring for over 4 minutes in the first quarter. It was a great way to begin the second quarter with MJ steal and assist to Promise And then there was that travel from Senegal because of the energy that we brought in on our defense. So our defense started to create for us on the offense. Our post players did a good job locking down their own post players. So they started to look for help from one or two players, which is Dillard and Diop. So they were the ones that could help them get the points that their post players couldn't get inside the paint. On how Senegal played, they started with a full court press, which of course was what kind of destabilized our offense a little bit. They were forcing us to use the shot clock, unlike how we would play and score whenever we wanted to. They started quite fearless, controlling the momentum of the game. They attacked, looking to get those foul calls. They succeeded because we were already in 5 fouls with just 3 minutes left on the clock in the first quarter. There was a time when Coach Otis took a timeout and he was saying, don't switch on anybody except Amy. And that shows how much he knows Amy. She was one of his players when he was coaching Nigeria, and he understands and knows that this player is a deadly player if given the chance. She's a weapon of amazing destruction to any team if you allow her, and he knew that, so he put that defense on her. So that shows how efficient she is. Here are some observations about the game. Macaulay's presence changed the momentum for Nigeria offensively, especially in the first quarter and in the last as well. One thing that cannot be compromised is how Nigeria plays defense. I mean, we can have a bad day on offense and all of that, but our defense always comes through. Even though Senegal were still very prolific, they were still very efficient on their scoring abilities, but our defense still stood out. Both teams were giving us what we expected this semi-final to be. Like, it was tagged the final before the final. It was a really great game to see these two teams just giving their all to see who would qualify to the finals. Another thing I noticed about the game is how it felt like Nigeria would wait for Senegal to do something before they could respond, and that kind of gave Senegal the major control of the game. They controlled the momentum, they controlled the pace. They reduced our rebounding abilities as well. We were allowing second chance opportunities for them. And there were some points in the game where we started to give some long passes, like we would grab the rebound and then look for the long pass. We needed to calm down, take the short passes, play our game, but it just felt rushed at some points. We were down 5 points, but it felt like we were down by 20 points at some point in the game. In my head, I'm like, come on, girls, we are just down 5 points. Let's keep going, But then it happens sometimes in the game. But defensive pressure forced turnovers within 4 minutes. They could not score. And then at 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go, the game was tied 65-65. And then Ezine got that steal. And then she went and got that layup. And the momentum just changed from there. And then there was that pass inside to Palace that she dropped that backdoor pass to Macaulay, and she was able to get that layup. I mean, experience was what won us that game yesterday. Experience and just tremendous performance. That fight, they had to dig deeper than they had, I'm sure, dug before in this competition. I don't even know the English right now. Dillard was just exceptional. She kept going, 26.7 rebounds and 3 assists for a player coming out from an injury. That is incredible. But hey, we're still unbeaten. I will be meeting Mali in the final as they beat South Sudan yesterday, 76-50 points. So Nigeria will play Mali in the final, and let's see if we're going to continue our winning streak and, of course, consecutive wins in the Afrobasket. I actually want to hear what you have to say in the comments, so leave your comments in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, Teresa out.